Welcome back.
Hello.
This one's being recorded immediately after the last one.
But you won't know that. Until now.
Joke's on you, dork.
Hi, for our
You're not a dork, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, please. We all the subscribers we can get.
Save me. Make 2 accounts and subscribe.
Sweet, please, that'd be nice. Alright, road trip time.
A road trip. So Jack had such a weird time, he just had to get away.
Yeah, honestly. Probably Cove doesn't follow.
He probably will. Even though you were awake, the sun had barely peeked its head above the horizon, and the sky above was still dark. The lightning by the minute. Usually, you wouldn't be up so early, especially during summer vacation, but today was different. Today, instead of the lazy days you were used to, everything around you was a flurry of activity, as both your family and Coves prepared for a lay ahead. Fuck, they're coming.
Damn it, yeah.
Because parked in the street just outside your house was a massive RV camper so big you couldn't even see Cove's house behind it. His parents had rented the RV for a few days to take him on a short road trip to see the Redwood National Park. He glanced at Cove, who was standing nearby, taking in the scene in front of him. The prospect of the trip had been a mixed bag for him. But it was only 3 days, so it seemed he was dealing with it as best he could. Especially now that you and your family were joining them.
You cried all night.
You weren't sure how exactly it had happened. You knew your parents. Your parents and Cove spoke to each other often. And somewhere along the way, plans were made after Cliff offered to share the space. The parents all thought it was a fantastic idea. You had already gotten a good look inside while helping to load everything in. And you had to admit that while it was a really big car, fitting that many people inside was going to be snug.
Let's go.
Move it or lose it, kid. Move on, soldier! Mom bustled past with a cooler in one hand and a large bottle of water under the other. She was upbeat this early in the morning. I haven't been up this early since back whenever I was in the military.
Reminds me of boot camp.
Woo! Except for that one time in Sydney whenever I stayed up for 3 weeks straight.
Actually, I won't talk about that. My therapist said not to.
Oh, yep. Sorry. Keep that away from the kiddos. Ma, however, seemed to be on the other side of the wavelength. She followed behind her wife, dragging her feet on every step.
I'm going to need a whole jug of coffee once we hit the road.
I also removed my cursor from OBS's.
Oh, so I won't see it?
They won't see my cursor.
I bet that's cool.
You can relate to Ma. It was way too early. Personally, you were as ready to go as Mom. You felt like you were in the middle ground between the two. It was way too
You're
early.
not excited by you're not excited this trip. Excuse me.
You yawned and rubbed at your eyes, still sleepy from the early morning wake-up call. The air outside was still damp from dew, and that helped make you a bit more alert. And then, at the end of the chain, came your sister. She had a bone to pick before the trip officially started. Her rattling off critiques added some level of normalcy to everything new going on.
Ugh.
I don't get why I can't sleep in the bed tonight. Jack is the younger, then I'll never fall asleep in that bath.
We're trying to make things fair on everyone. If I want to play the older card, you should be offering to take the low for both nights. It's important for big siblings to make sacrifices for their younger ones. That's true, because the war. So let's see the mindset.
Oh, they did grow up in the time.
Yes. Mom, the war's fucking over. Australia's still right there.
Did someone say something about the war? Because I can go on a lengthy conversation about the war. No, honey, it's fine. Please. Okay. Elizabeth huffed, not happy with that answer in the slightest, and folded her arms, leaning back against the side of the RV. The trip plans had been nailed down prior, the sleeping arrangements included. Elizabeth still held on to her objections with them. There was a main area of the RV with a couch, loft, and some floor space. At the end of the car was a room with a large bed. Your moms were sharing the bed. Kyra was on the couch, and father and son intended to sleep on the floor. Wait.
Like Cove and his dad.
Cove's dad rented the RV.
Yeah.
And he's sleeping on the floor.
But he's a king at Justin.
What a cool guy.
What a man, bro. What a gentleman, really.
Really. For the veteran and her wife. The adults determined you and Elizabeth would switch between the small loft above the driver's seat and sharing the bed with the moms. You wanted the loft. God, you wanted the loft.
So bad.
I'm excited to sleep in the loft.
Yeah,
You think it was unfair? Okay, yeah. You're excited to sleep in the loft. God, you wanted to sleep in the loft.
Turn the loft.
All right, you lot. Does everyone have everything they need?
We're heading out 5 minutes. Now it's time to double check. You don't want to forget something important.
At the word, Elizabeth yelped and dashed back into the house. Her bedhead hair bouncing behind her as she went.
My dog!
Ma came over and gave you a smile, setting her hands on her hips. Elizabeth brought out a lizard. You get that?
The mom is like, pull out a gun. That's it. I'm burning the house down.
I don't like lizards ever since Sydney. Oh, wait. Did I skip your line? Oh, no.
Sure. No, we're good. How about you, Jack? Do you have any clothes? Do you have all your clothes packed? Toiletries, deodorant, floss, anything else you can think of? Yeah, Mom, I have it all. I just want to die.
Can I just have the loft?
You're gonna sleep with Lizzie. You weren't. Oh, actually, sorry.
You weren't 8 years old anymore. You were 13 and more than capable of remembering what to bring on a trip.
All right. I like the fuss.
Ma laughed softly and ruffled your hair before she walked off. With a few minutes left to spare before leaving, you mentally went over what you had packed for the trip. Clothes, a pillow, a blanket, usual day-to-day gear for most people. You also had more personal things, such as, oh god.
Burn my dress. My favorite stuff. Yeah. Wait, can I get copyrighted?
I don't think so, because we're not monetized.
Sure. Okay, you're right.
I don't know if that's actually how it works.
Jeremy comes.
You know what, Jeremy? Get over it.
Jeremy goes to make his first video bag. It's like, you've been copyright claimed. What? A bag of makeup. A ball. Your camera.
How about a couple of things to read, because we're trying to impress Cove's mom.
Yeah.
And she's a writer.
No, does she know?
What, pencils and paper? Maybe that's what we need to bring. What do you think?
Do that. Read pencil and papers. A bunch of like sophisticated stuff.
See if we can read. One of your old favorites. A new one you never tried before. You'd have plenty of time. Then both it's a long drive. Okay, cool. We can pick multiple. Pencils and paper.
Mm-hmm.
You had to be prepared in case you saw something to sketch at the park. Oh, they mean sketching. They mean drawing, not writing. Or if you had the... Okay. Or if you have the... I just need to read the whole thing before I talk. Or if you have to write anything down, or if you need to pass time just doodling. Well, now what? Oh, we're just gonna do them all. A portable gaming console? The drive to Redwood National Park would take the entire day one way. So you wanted to make sure you had a way to entertain yourself while traveling here, there, and back. Your favorite stuffed animal? Without fail, it always made you feel more comfortable whenever you went somewhere new. It was like taking a little piece of home away with you. A bag of makeup? You kind of dreaded the idea of trying to apply it nicely while in the cramped RV, but it was something you wanted to keep on hand. A ball? It was fun to break out a ball and play around with in the field behind your house, so you thought everyone might enjoy having something to do while at the park.
Hey, real fast. We can play this game as a girl, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just curious about. Okay, never mind. Okay, for some reason I probably broke my brain for a minute. I was like, wait, he plays a girl.
Yeah, you can
Okay, so yeah, okay.
you can play as a boy, a girl, or like a
non-binary. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Your camera. It was just a little pocket camera you had gotten from your mom's, but you couldn't miss the opportunity to take some new snaps. An MP3 with headphones.
Let's say.
With so much time going to be spent driving in a car, you wanted to make sure you'd be able to have some music to put on. And that was everything. Cove's mom looked at you. Wow, you really told the truth.
Holy fuck. Hey, let me do that for you, Jack. God, this is fucking heavy. I'm still in the RV. There are a few spots left to fill in.
You let Kyra take your bag and gave her a grateful smile. With nothing left to do, you watched the others getting ready for the trip. Kyra and Cliff seemed to have most energy of everyone. They were finishing packing the suitcases away while your moms had gone to lock up the house. They high-fived whenever another one got crammed into the storage compartments of the vehicle. Even now, your own parents were more low-key than Cove's. You could tell they were both excited for the trip. It had been a while since your family had been away anywhere together. Elizabeth skipped towards the RV, a bag slung over her shoulder, and you were surprised to see she seemed more optimistic about the whole ordeal now. Usually she wasn't one to exit the confines of her room unless it was for TV or food, or to leave her family behind to be with friends. You would have thought 3 whole days packed in an RV with 6 others would be too much for her, but it was a nice surprise. You supposed any vacation was better than no vacation in her mind. Cove had been pretty quiet so far, and more than anything, seemed to be overwhelmed by the situation. We were not very excited about the trip.
Yeah.
You like being at home and would rather find things to do around your town. Soon the miscellaneous remaining tasks had all been wrapped up. Everyone piled into the RV. It was officially time for the trip to start. And it did. Cliff took the first shift driving. He cautiously navigated the massive car out of the narrow neighborhood streets. It was touch and go for the first part of the journey. Your moms and Kyra were all huddled at the front, trying to get a view of how much space they had on each side. There was a sense of relief when the first long leg of the trip was hit, and the RV would only need to go down one stretch of highway for miles. The mom group cleared out of the driver's area, leaving Cove's dad to it, taking more comfortable seats around the main cabin. You felt like you could finally relax now. Time slipped by as morning faded away. Before you realized it, the engine of the RV came to a stop.
Cliff's asleep at the wheel!
No! Not while we're on the mountain, Cliff! Cliff! Cliff, where are you going? No! Before you realized it, the engine of the RV came to a stop, but only halted for a few moments as Cliff climbed out from the driver's seat and Mom took over. Ma was sitting shotgun, giving Mom a quick tutorial on the controls. What's the video game? It was her first time driving anything this large.
After you did the video game, so yeah.
I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Let me correct the game. As it was this time driving anything this large, that's not a all-terrain military vehicle. Anything this large that doesn't have a giant cannon strapped to the top. Cliff groaned as he headed towards the rescue, stretching his arms above his head and loosening up his muscles.
We're making good progress with 18. Yeah, maybe you should take a nap in the back for a while. That's what a long haul you just did, and I know you're on less sleep than usual. Oh god, I had done so much cocaine this morning. I'll be up for a week.
Cliff waved a hand, that trademark grin of his slipping into place.
Nah.
I don't need sleep. I still got a few miles in the old tank.
He flexed an arm, showing off his muscles to drive the point about how resilient he was.
Sean
How resilient he was home.
My Sean has the flesh of how tough he is.
And Kyra rolled her eyes in amusement. Oh, I thought that was
Dad,
Kyra who said that. I was like, what?
pull the fucking Jack goes pull the fucking tank RV over and go, Cliff, I'm walking home. Okay, I thought so too. I saw that. I was like, what? Dad, everybody has to sleep.
Cove shook his head at the tough guy act. Though Cliff simply chuckled and ruffled his son's hair.
So?
Are you gonna be driving again anytime soon, Mr. Holland? I wanna know so I can prepare. Do you want to pack some rope? I might need it. There's no seatbelt up here. Damn.
Well,
Was it
you
a
little
Dog
bitch.
down from where she was lounging aloft above the driving compartment. She was lying on her back, her hair falling over the side, swinging around as the RV started up again and took off down the road. A bag of potato chips was balanced on Elizabeth's stomach, and she tossed a couple in her mouth right as Cliff held a hand to his chest, pretending to be offended by the remark. Kyra laughed lightheartedly.
Don't worry about that.
Luckily for all of us, we have enough adults to cover the shifts today. We won't be able to drive until tomorrow.
Can I drive?
Stay quiet. You're not excited about this. Like some fuckeries up here. Like
You didn't have anything to add to the conversation, but it was pretty funny all the same.
like Lizzie's trying to sleep. You know, you go manic. You know, you're like going manic. Like, Lizzie, I'm too young to fucking die.
Mom then shouted back in her seat to join in the conversation, a playful smile tilting her lips. Why is she so mad?
Jesus.
What I'm more worried about is this old monster getting us there and back again before falling apart. Back when I was in the military, I used to drive big old clunkers that would last miles and miles. I should have just contacted my old commanding officer. He would have given us a massive tank. Those are illegal. Let's just drive. It looks as though it was built in the early 90s. Must be older than some of the occupants. Including myself.
That's just the aesthetics of the decor. It's not that old. I think. Did you ask what the... Oh my god. Did you ask what year the model was before you rented it?
Kyra wrinkled her nose and thought.
Yes, I did. I just can't remember the answer right now.
Cliff chuckled at her while the rest of you let out a collective sigh. The RV lurched a little as it picked up speed, and you held onto the ladder to the left to keep your balance. You felt something graze at the top of your head before a weight settled on your gold hair. When you tilted your chin up and carefully to look, you heard the rustling of a bag of chips and realized Elizabeth had rested the end of it on your head. She gestured to the opening, silently offering to share her snack. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time reading. I think I'm, I don't know. Maybe I'm suffering from some sort of reading disease. He gestured to the opening, silently offering to share her snack. We're gonna need something, boss.
We're stress eating now.
Reaching up, you scooped up some chips. After that, the weight of the packet left your scalp. I'm moving my lamp. Oh shit, my lamp's about to fall. Fuck. No, lamp, don't do that. Okay. You happily munched away as the conversation continued on. Fucking damn it. Conversation continued on, and you got closer and closer to your destination. The day flew by, with the group of you chatting, playing games, and passing the time together before finally arriving at the park and setting up for the night. Ma was closing the windows while everyone got ready for bed, saying goodnight to the others as she made her way to the back room. You had all had dinner together while still driving. And some hours after had arrived. What the fuck? And some hours after had arrived at your destination and found a spot to park in for the rest of your stay. Giving a look across the front of the RV, you noticed almost everyone there was already dozing off where they were, with Cove having completely fallen asleep curled up in the passenger seat. He must have done so while Kyra was driving the last leg, and they had decided not to disturb him. Kyra herself was the only one up there who was still awake, flipping through a magazine next to the portable light from her spot on the couch. I see Mr. Holden needed to sleep despite his claims. Hold on a second. You followed your moms into the back room and closed the door behind you before crawling into bed between them. It was a queen-size bed, so there was enough space for the three. What? Queen-size bed are small as fuck.
Oh, okay. Queen. But, hang on a second. Can you fit three people in a queen-size bed, though?
You could, but it's tight.
That's you. It's like... Oh, how... Yeah, I guess. But you're also like a teenager. Like, you're also like 12 or 11. So
yeah, he's smaller. 13.
Yeah, so...
But still, I can barely fit two people. Like, you can barely fit two people on a queen. True. Then again, I don't like to touch people when I sleep. Like, I don't like to, like whenever me and my wife are sleeping, I don't like to... I don't like to be touched. I'm very... I don't know.
Touch it. Okay, so yeah. Well, Justin, I assume they like being touched, so they like to be very close.
What a loving family.
Wow.
Good night.
Get good rest, Jack. We've got a big day ahead of us tomorrow.
On the thing, like, he opens his eyes and and you see his mom's face, like grin, that person's eyes. It's like, have a good night, Jack. I'm looking forward to the bushwalk in the morning. It's been a long time since I've been out in nature like this.
There will be plenty for us to see. You stayed awake for a little while longer while your moms whispered about the park and the forest in general. With the sound of their voices in the background, eventually you nodded off to sleep. Okay, once again, this just shows my horrible sleeping peeves. I can't stand noise when I sleep.
Oh, I love falling asleep to noise.
Well, okay, there's certain, like, white noise is fine. Like, the sound of rain or thunder, that's cool. That's good. Even the sound of music is fine. But if people are like, talking in the background or having a conversation, I'm like, shut the fuck up!
Back before I bought my house, back when I lived in my rental house, I My neighbor used to yell at each other. Like he used to yell at his wife, like, "You whore," and shit like that. I used to fall asleep to that. I used to like, this is nice. It's kind of weird. It's a weird thing. Yeah.
Arguments.
Yeah. Wow.
The next morning, you were up bright and early, preparing for the day ahead.
Yeah, so terribly. Your mom's face burned into your image, and it gave you nightmares.
Her night terrors. God, her night terrors. Whenever you woke up, it's like your mom standing there, eyes wide open, while pretending to hold some sort of machine gun. There hadn't been enough room for you to spread out or readjust your... What the fuck? Or readjust your position. The mattress was uncomfortable and it became hot with two other people next to you. Ma whined a bit about the firmness of the mattress, but Mom had only encouraged her to enjoy the trip while she could. Stop fucking bitching. While looking for a spot to get ready, you had some trouble finding a space of your own as the others were doing the same thing. Cove was perched on top of the counter, brushing his hair and tucking up his legs every time someone wanted to move past. What the fuck was that noise? The parents were double checking and triple checking that you had everything, to the point to where you had stopped listening to them altogether. You knew you wouldn't be returning to the RV at all that day, but by the look of the backpacks that were packed up and ready to go, you doubted anything was missing from them. It didn't take much longer until you all exited the RV in a bustle and headed into the Redwood National Park. Cove had his head tilted up towards the canopy of trees, his eyes wide as he took in the massive trunks of either side of you. You knew that the redwood trees here were considered the tallest trees on Earth, but you weren't prepared for exactly how huge they would be in person.
Come on.
Smile, you two.
You spun just in time for Kyra to snap a picture of you and Cove together, before she pointed her camera at Cliff, trying to get a shot despite his weak protest that she should just enjoy the moment. Your parents were walking behind the group a little, with Mom telling Ma some information she had read about the park in a brochure. Ma listened happily while looking around and taking in the sights, every now and then asking a question or making a joke about something Mom had said. You smiled at them, thinking your mom must have read a lot of pamphlets to know so much about the park. A soldier always does their research before going on a trip.
I did my reconnaissance, don't worry.
The enemy won't get the jump on us. Maybe you should come and work here as a tour guide if you know so much about the place. Elizabeth teased, earning a squeeze on the nose from your mom. She seemed to be enjoying herself, but you thought that might just be because she was amused by everyone else's reactions.
Is their day getting better, or was it more like something's up put here?
I'd say we're in a good mood. Because last time we were pretty...
Yeah, we're pretty negative last time, so yeah, we're in a good mood.
We're in a good mood. We're all right. So maybe we're fascinated.
Yeah, we got.
Bird calls echoed all around you, and once or twice something would rustle in the underbrush. You strained your eyes through the trees for any sight of wildlife and managed to catch a glimpse of a rabbit bounding through the foliage. The adults had decided on some casual nature walks rather than any serious hiking, and you strolled along at your own pace, taking in the scenery. Elizabeth sped up a little, smirking at Cove as she fell into place. between the two of you, and immediately you could tell by her expression she was going to say something taunting. God damn it. I can't believe our families are actually on vacation together. She threw her arms out, speaking with a genuine sense of bewilderment. I would have joked about something like this happening, but now I'm not sure. I want to give them any more ideas. Phil smiled, even if it was a little awkwardly, and continued walking along the road. Just watch. Next year they'll be talking about their next new amazing idea. She put on a fake voice deeper than her own. We should just it's gonna be hard as fuck, Ryan.
Yeah, I know.
We should just sell both of our houses and move in together. Think of how much we'd save on the mortgage.
It was clear that Elizabeth was being sarcastic. Cove simply shook his head, not really bothered by her. You supposed he was used to it by this point.
But seriously, they really do act like we're a single family just because we live across the street from each other.
Elizabeth gave you and Cove a look, her eyes glinting with mischief as she leered at you.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we will be related. Legally, anyway.
If he knows.
Liza!
Where's the killer Cove? Where the fuck?
Put her down!
My mom is there, but my mom is not gonna kill me if they find out.
She said it as though she was a gossipy old lady.
Oh. Maybe. I guess you and me can get married, Elizabeth.
Cove, you're just joking,
Oh.
right? This is just a joke, right, Cove?
Come on, beat your fucking ass, Cove.
Cove, you're fucking joking, right?
What?
What? Me?
Yeah, the way Jack would be my brother-in-law. That would be fun.
Elizabeth stuck her tongue out at Cove, as if the very idea were ridiculous. I'll marry you, Cove!
Oh, I'll marry Cove on the same day Shiloh's mom marries Cove's dad. Who the fuck is Shiloh, says Cove.
Oh, great! Then I'll have an excuse not to be at your wedding. Young Dad obviously not getting the response she was looking for, and you and Cove swapped amused looks. It was a bit mean to bring up her old friend in that context, but she was asking for it. You casually wondered where Shiloh might be now.
He's not like a place cheap, I give you that. He has fallen.
The day continued on, with plenty to see and experience. You passed a few different activities that you would have liked to try out if you had the time, such as kayaking and rock climbing, but Ma said that would have to wait for another trip. There was a little stream during the walk that you sat beside and set out a picnic for lunch. I saw my cursor. You can't see it on the recording, but I thought it was a bug. I about freaked out.
Are you high boss?
No, I'm not. I thought it was a bug. I about freaked the fuck out. I was like, is that a fucking spider on my computer right now? Nibbling on a selection of fruit, sandwiches, and chips. Various birds flew by overhead, and you made a game out of guessing the species that were hanging out in the trees nearby.
Is that an eagle? No. Is that an eagle? No.
You even managed to get a couple of them right, including the kingfisher that grabbed half of Cliff's sandwich. What is a kingfisher?
I look. It is a bird, but
Like the town in Oklahoma?
no, it's a bird. It's like a. That thing looks fucking retarded. It's a magic.
It's gonna be my next D&D character. It's gonna be Goose's cousin.
Kingfisher. Yeah, I'm a bad boy. Yeah. He's like a kid who goes like super cuts for his haircut.
You even managed to get a couple of them right, Kingfisher.
I think we're having fun.
You're disappointed only had one day.
Yeah. Think about this, okay? It was a fun trip. You hanged out with Cove, you thought of Shiloh, you roasted Lizzie. Everything went pretty well.
You're glad you got to do this in the end. It was definitely a special experience, and one you'd remember for a long time to come. You smiled to yourself, committing the sights and sound to memory. Your group made it back to camp just as the sun was setting in the sky, and the stars were appearing, one by one. Everyone had enjoyed different parts of it most. You traded stories of what you thought while you were eating dinner. Then afterwards, you pitched in to help clean up. You, along with Elizabeth and Cove, got to head back to the RV early and spend some time together while the parents stayed outside longer. It was nice to have the space to yourself after the cramped journey there. And while Elizabeth had locked herself in the back room with her headphones, you and Cove were left in the main lounge area. Hung out with Cove. Hung out with Cove. Might as well get comfortable. Who knows how long they'll be out for. Wait, did he change clothes?
No.
Cove, I'm so proud.
Cove. Cairo starts crying. Cove. Change Cove.
I'm so proud of you. Alright. You took a seat on the sofa while Cove sat down on the other end, tapping his fingers against his knees. You know, I hardly ever see you wearing a jacket, or in any other clothes, especially in summer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like wearing a few layers as possible. It's easier that way. I'd rather be cold than extra hot. It is kind of a pain to carry extra clothes around. My parents made me bring this jacket. I love wearing layers.
Oh, I love wearing layers. Something about a lot of layers that makes me feel all snug and comfortable. Cove smiled lightly at you and nodded.
I've noticed.
Why'd you say it like that, Cove? What do you like to see others wear, buddy? You're gonna be all judgmental. What? Cove's eyes widened at the question. His defensive reply seemed to slip out before he had the chance to have a proper think about it. What?
I think. Funny.
That was funny.
That was funny as ass.
No. You laughed out loud and Cove gave you a dry look.
Come on.
Come on, that's not what I meant.
You composed yourself and sat up straighter, all traces of laughter disappearing from your face. Answer with what you mean then. Isn't there anything at all you think looks good when you see it on someone? Cove mumbled under his breath and you couldn't quite catch the words. He's having a difficult time with the subject.
I swear I won't make fun of
I
you.
won't when we're gonna make fun of him.
Dan, it's not really it.
Cove seemed pretty grumpy about your statement, but you weren't ready to give up so easily. Please. Cove sighed and looked down at his lap, fishing with his hands, still reluctant to give an answer.
I don't know.
Oh!
I don't know.
Made an unimpressed sound over how this was going. You sure?
Fine. I guess I kind of like ankle bracelets.
What a fucking loser! I'm lazy! Cove likes ankle bracelets!
Yeah, everyone can wear a pretty bracelet. Wrist ones are cool too, but they're pretty normal. There's nothing fun or flirty about ankle bracelets.
I mean,
It's more special or something. I don't know how to explain it.
Cover your ankles, everyone.
Jack's over here like trying to put the fucking ankle press over his foot. Oh my god.
You want me to give it a try, not because of you or anything. Cove brushed his knuckles against his cheek awkwardly, seemingly not sure where to go from here.
So you think they're sexy?
So you think they're sexy?
what?
What? No! I can't believe you even used that word to describe it.
What? Cove? Cove had been absolutely scandalized by your statement, and you could only laugh. You know, Mom had the nerve to call him the influence here.
Yeah, but Jack's such a fucking dick.
But he said nothing else. You took a moment to gather your own thoughts.
Do you want to do it? We're almost in high school.
Yeah. You did see how Cove would react to that.
Kyra, give me your
Cove looked away
bracelet.
again, feeling awkwardly about this. You gave it an understanding look, and as soon as he was smiling, like normal again.
Oh, okay. Well, now you have to answer too. What do you like for another person? Cove has every one of these things.
Your mom!
Someone with biological parents had to still live with them.
Pretty hair, I
Blue.
guess.
Yeah, that's a more nonchalant one. He has glasses. He has blue eyes. I guess he has muscles too. Pretty hair is the only one you can like get away with.
Oh, hold on, I'll be right back.
You're good.
Okay, we're back.
All right.
I guess pretty hair.
True. So we're still high on the fact that we have a crush on him.
Yeah, at least, but you know, in high school, I think is whenever Jack's finally like, Cove kind of fine. Cove chuckled as though you had said something highly amusing.
Good luck. I hope you find someone.
With that, the topic abruptly dropped off. Cove officially had no more to say on it. The parents all arrived, and soon after, each of them climbing into the RV and finding someplace to sit down and rest their legs. They were fucking smashed.
So what if this was just a prequel? Like this is all just the prologue, and then the rest of the game is just stuck in there with the Blair Witch.
Oh, God. Elizabeth, having heard the commotion, came out from the room for the first time since arriving and joined you all. You spent the evening chatting and playing a few games, enjoying the last evening of the trip together. Bedtime arrived, and within the blink of an eye, as the group hunkered down for the night, your mom did a final round to be sure nothing had been left behind. She explained that Cliff was going to start driving early in the morning, like on the first day, but would be letting everyone else in the group sleep. There wouldn't be a need for all of them to get up. Now was the time to check you hadn't left anything outside. You, as well as everyone else, were confident that you had it all packed up inside the RV, which meant it was time to get some rest before the journey home tomorrow. Your moms and Elizabeth said goodnight, heading to the back room while you climbed up to the loft. Cove and his family got situated below in the previously set arrangement. You tried to get comfortable as a million thoughts were running through your mind. It was hard to believe that the trip was practically over, and before you knew it, you'd be back in your own bed at home. We enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was short, that was for sure, but you got to see and do so much during your time here. All in all, it was a nice break away from home. The minutes ticked by silently. It didn't take long for the soft snores of Cliff and Kyra to drift up to you. They were asleep now. You wondered if Cove was still awake and decided to poke your head out from the loft to find out. You blinked through the dark. Looking down the hall, you noticed Cove laying on his back, his eyes staring straight up at the ceiling, His seafoam hair was spread out on his sleeping bag. He must have felt you watching him, because suddenly his eyes locked on yours. It was difficult to see him dim light, but you could make out the crooked smile on his face well enough. Hoi!
Oi!
Hoi, Cove! Go way back, still smiling at you through the dim light. We're gonna be like, come here.
Come here,
Hey.
little shit.
Hey, boss! Get over here! Cove looked unsure about it, but you were happy to see him slowly start to sit up anyway. The sleeping bag rustled as he moved, though he tried to go slow, and froze up like a deer in headlights every time he made a sound, watching his parents for any sign of movement. Eventually, he managed to maneuver around his sleeping bag, his sleeping dad, and make it to the ladder, standing on the bottom rung. Fucking shit. Standing on the bottom rung where he looked up at you and whispered,
What?
Good night.
No. Good night. Good night or hi. Maybe. Oh my god. Jack's turned the table. Jack's the fucking weird one now.
Oh shit. Hey, boss. Get in the loft.
Get in the loft, loser.
Cove gets in the loft. He sees you wearing an ankle bracelet.
It's your mom's bracelet, but it's your mom's wrist bracelet, but he put on his ankle. God.
What do you think, big boy? Cove immediately left the loft.
Cove grabs Cliff's gun from the dashboard.
Are you gonna invite him up to the loft?
Yeah.
Come on. You wanna come up to the loft?
Come on,
His
boy.
eyes
You can do it. He looks so unimpressed.
You could only tell because he had come to where you were. Cove glanced behind him quickly at his sleeping parents before turning back to you.
Okay.
My boss. Welcome to the loft. I need your help. I'm at the second gym leader. I'm trying to win. I want to play Pokemon. Which one do you think is best for this one? You broke out into a grin and scooched back as far as you could, making space for Cove to crawl in. He was very tall, and the weight was too much for the loft, and ended up caving it down on top of Kyra.
It's like, boy, I'm trying to be this gym leader. It's a water gym leader. I keep using Charizard. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
That wasn't a great fit for him, but he managed to squeeze himself in. Even if you weren't exactly tall, the loft was still a tight squeeze with the two of you in there together. You lay down next to each other, on your sides, face to face. You got under the blanket a bit. I mean, I thought they were just gonna play cards. I didn't know if it was like full on, like they were gonna sleep. I thought, like whenever they sat in bed and played cards whenever he snuck into the room. I thought they were gonna do that.
Oh.
One of his arms was nestled under his head for comfort. The other had nowhere to go and was rested alongside his chest. On the floor of the loft, Cove spoke to you softly.
So what am I doing here? Oh, you want to do it? You can sleep here instead of the floor.
I thought we could hang out. We'll do this one. I like this one. Cove raised an eyebrow. I didn't expect you to bring that up now. It is a big deal for us both to be in the loft, right?
Yeah, it's not some huge thing. We shared a million times before by now, and usually they're the ones encouraging us.
Cove gestured in the direction of the parents, and you nodded in agreement. They'd always tried to put you and Cove together ever since you were little.
I wonder how much trouble will be if we get caught.
What are you talking about, Cove? We're just sleeping. What do you have in your mind right now?
Cove,
I think
I'm straight.
I can misunderstand what you're talking about. Cove, I told you this in your room. I like girls.
It's like Jack's mom lifts the blanket. What the fuck? They're going to church camp.
I've had enough of this! It wouldn't be nearly as much as it would have been if my mom's found out you snuck into my room for the night at the start of the summer. Kyra at the loft blows like, what?
Kyra probably encouraged that, I'll be honest. Kyra has nothing, like, Kyra has no, like, what's the word? Like, no role in his life besides in there in the summer.
He was just imagining it.
I can't believe I did that. And I didn't get caught. Thank God my dad's a fucking idiot.
It was a very dramatic morning. You could easily picture his frantic escape in your mind's eye. You're kind of a troublemaker, aren't you, Cove?
I mean,
I don't think so.
Jack, Shiloh moved because of you. He never told you, but he moved because of you.
Found Shiloh on Instagram. I'm fucking scared.
I pissed him off, and that kid's fucked in the head. The last post he made was, "I'm gonna get you, sunset bird." Cove trailed off, and he seemed to be lost in his own thoughts.
Well, maybe sometimes.
Cove smiled fondly at you, and you grinned triumphantly. You spent the rest of the night smooshed up in the little loft together, whispering about your past memories and trying not to giggle too loud at the silly things you had gotten up together over the years. Eventually, the chat trailed off when you noticed Cove had drifted off to sleep, and you followed soon after. When you woke up the next morning, it was the rumble of the RV as it traveled through the journey home. You noticed quickly that you weren't as warm as you had been during the night. When you checked, Cove was gone. Blinking sleepily, you peeked over at where he had gone. Maybe he snuck back to his spot on the floor during the night. However, you soon noticed that Cliff was asleep and Cove was behind the wheel. However, you soon noticed him sitting on the couch, talking quietly with his mom. His head hung in embarrassment. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O.
Very hot.
Jack peeked over the loft and then immediately pretended back to go to sleep. And Kyra suddenly looked up and caught your eye. She simply smiled amusedly at you, and it was obvious what happened. Cove hadn't gotten away with it. They found him there in the loft, and then you woke up while he was trying to explain. You knew it was going to be a long time before you lived this one down, if you ever did. Soon your moms and Elizabeth emerged from the room, dressed and ready for the day of travel. Fuck, they know too. You spent most of the day hanging out together.
Mom's like, I'm gonna beat your fucking ass.
You spent most of the day hanging out together in the RV, savoring the last few hours of vacation. There's just a few travel games she used to play with Cove whenever he was younger, and you all had a great time competing against each other. A little later in the day, you tried to talk to Cove about what had happened in the loft, but he simply apologized and changed the subject. It was a bit too much for him to try speaking on, especially right now. You understood. When the RV finally pulled into your street, it was well into the night, and you were looking forward to crawling into your own bed after the last few days away. Everyone else must have been feeling, I guess the sleepover's kind of fucked now.
Yeah. I haven't actually anymore.
Everyone else must have been feeling the same, because it was mutually agreed that unpacking and cleaning the RV would wait until morning. Once home again, you went straight up to your room and dropped onto your bed, shoes and all. Let's do it.
Yeah.
The two of you had basically been living together for 3 days. It was nice. But you knew that it wouldn't be the last time the two of you would spend time together. And that thought comforted you. With those last few thoughts drifting through your mind, it wasn't long before you dozed off to sleep. Tomorrow, life would go on like normal.
Aw.
So, I think we should move on to high school.
Okay.
and then make our character and then save it and then move on and then we'll end the video.
Gotcha. Do
Because
it.
now we get to change Jack and Cove's appearances.
I bet sounds good. There's no oh, that's you. Sorry.
There's no denying it. Today was the very last day of summer. Tomorrow you were heading to class.
It was a bummer.
Oh man! Summer had been so much fun. When you thought about going back to school, it was with a sense of loss. Soon you wouldn't be able to choose how your days were spent without the school bell telling you where to be and when. It was with a heavy heart that you chose your outfit for your final day of freedom. Life was going to be different. You had come to think of the summer vacation as the norm, but school sucked up the majority of the year, whereas the summer vacation was just a respite in the middle. So, rather than it being different, it was kind of a return to the normal. What did your normal life really mean? You considered how fondly your moms talked about their summer vacations as kids. You dimly recognized that one year the pattern of school and summer itself would be over for good. It was hard to imagine. You'd gotten distracted, one arm still out of a sleeve. You pulled it through and put your mind back to the present. This season had brought about plenty of changes of its own, like Kyra's visit, though that too was coming to an end today.
You had become extremely fond of her.
The neighborhood was about to feel a lot emptier. You finished dressing, which was good. Cove would be there any moment. You'd agreed to see his mom off together. Officially, the plan was that he would come over and bring you round to his house when she was ready to set off. But you both knew that you'd be hanging out for at least a little while before it. Kyra's visit had troubled Cove when it first happened. It had been a sudden change, thanks to Mr. Holden's infamous tendency to surprise people. But once he was able to adjust, he'd been in pretty good spirits with her around. It was a relief for everyone. You turned to your desk where the box containing your accessories resided.
Yeah. You bought several.
10 of them. I was bored of the box. Should you wear it?
Lizzie's over there.
Maybe for Cove's visit to that?
Lizzie's like, where the fuck's my bracelets?
You decided to wear several anklets.
Yeah.
Okay, Jack, I know he told you that, but like, you know, there's a limit. You have like 10 anklets on, bro.
He did that because like he wanted to make fun of Jack, because he thinks anklets are fucking stupid. So he's like, oh yeah, I love anklets, Jack.
A good smile crept over your face and you adored anklet after anklet. There was no way that Cove would miss it. People from the East Coast would be able to hear you jangling. The next thought that crossed your mind was,
What are we gonna do?
he'll come up, see us. He'll catch us like, oh, Cove, I didn't see there. I was just putting on my anklets.
I said put the lotion on my feet.
Don't mind my anklets. They're quite jingly. You made yourself comfortable on your bed. This was where you'd be hanging out, so there wasn't much point in going downstairs just to come straight back up again. It would be the first and probably won't be the last time that Cove brought himself up to your room without you taking him there. A knock at the door broke you from idle daydream. You've had about endless summers. You opened the door. It was your mom. Cove got into a car wreck on the way here. He's dead.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for your loss. And then he closed the door.
It's okay. You'll get over it. You recognized the sound immediately. Different from the cheery tune Ma rapped out when she wanted your attention. Her mom's direct beats. And Elizabeth's tendency to skip knocking completely. Those knocks were just hard enough to be heard and had uncommonly long pauses in between. They were Cove's. Come in, Cove! You shook your feet up and down, constantly, the entire time. Cove opened the door, smiling casually as he caught your eye.
Hi, Jack.
Hi, Cove. He stepped further into the room. With other guests, he might have offered them a seat, but you and Cove were long past those tentative stages of friendship. Your room was as familiar to him as his own. You watched as Cove sat down on your desk chair, his preferred spot. He rolled it closer to the bed to make it easier to chat, tweaking the angle so that he was facing you fully. Once happy with the position, he leaned towards you, hands held in his lap. His actions were those of someone who planned on moving from his spot anytime soon. So he thought he had an appointment to keep together that day. What? When's your mom leaving?
Don't worry about it.
We got some time. She still got a shower and stuff before she goes. This won't mean they just keep hanging around while she's doing that.
He lifted his head, his gaze drifting out through the window, and chuckled.
Can't believe she's already leaving. Just when I'm getting used to her being there every day.
He leaned back in the chair, a wry smile tickling his cheeks. She'll be back. What do you think?
Yeah.
He cocked his head thoughtfully before shrugging.
She's like, fuck.
I don't know, Jack. You really freaked her out.
Hmm.
He ran a hand through his hair before shaking his head, as if shaking off the topic like a dog whipping off water following a dip into sea. Cove looked back to you, lips parted as he was about to speak, but instead his eyes widened and mouth closed, a tiny frown. Something caught his attention. Several somethings to be accurate. There was a wonder that he hadn't heard or spotted them sooner.
Hi.
He cast his eyes back up to your face, then down to your ankle, then back to your face. You repeat the process. Twice more, as if struggling to hold the two items in tandem. Maybe he was weighing up whether this would be a coincidence or not. So you weren't sure how much clearer you could be while still being able to lift your feet. Or maybe he was just too shy to verbalize his thoughts, or was still trying to find the words. And this was
Jack,
the most he
your
could
foot-
manage.
Jack, your foot is fucking purple. Take that shit off.
The attention made you feel amused. It was funny as fuck. It was hard not to laugh at Cove's scrambled response. You stifled your laughter with a hand clasped firmly around your mouth.
He looks so dumb with your shit.
Even so, you could feel the way the smile had lifted your face. On his next glance back to your face, Cove saw your expression and shifted. You watched its bewilderment eroded into mortification as he realized he had just been caught staring. He quickly spun in the chair to face the wall instead, allowing you to glimpse the flush that had spread all the way to his ears. His embarrassment finally wore off, enough for him to pipe up again.
I know you're doing that on purpose, Jack. Are you trying to make fun of me?
What do you mean?
I know who you are, Jack. I know who you fucking are, the person. You know about what I said before on the road trip.
What did you say before? Cove groaned, tilting his head up to the ceiling. He had not bought your act.
Why do I ever tell you things? How does it look?
How's it look? He lifted your leg up and pointed it towards his chair so he could get the best view. Cove just huffed in response. He jerked his face to the side. You waited patiently, not taking your eyes off him or lowering your foot until he gave in. Well? With a roll of the eye, he conceded.
It's nice.
I think it looks hot.
Sexy! Cove prodded an accusing finger in your direction.
But you already knew that because I told you.
His comment drew a grin from you. He smiled back, the final shadows of his frantic initial reaction swept aside. Cove perched an elbow on the chair's arm and propped his jaw against his curled hand. There was a natural ease to his movements. A familiarity from the echoes of all the times before when he'd sat in that same position.
This was a really nice summer, Jack.
I've had better.
Played that one.
I'm glad we can spend so much time together. Cove, still nestled cozily in your chair, smiled at your response. How are your fish doing? They're all dead, Jack. Ever since you showed up and put that weird chemical in there.
Really good. Things in the tank are stable and everybody looks healthy.
That was nice to hear. You learned from Cove how hard it was to maintain an aquarium. Pastrami has eaten all the other fish.
They got me to name her Kyra. I would have been really confused. Pastrami has been busy keeps darting between the plants and alligator while I walk by, like a game of peekaboo.
Or hide and seek.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Finally glanced out of the window. He gave a resigned sigh.
It's gonna be harder to surf, with school. It's getting colder out. I don't want to get rusty.
I don't know how I'm gonna go on without surfing, bro. Because Jack was amazing at surfing.
Yeah.
I forgot. I wish I could do it more outside of summer. He gave a light smile coupled with a shrug as response. Jack, Cove.
We're dead.
From downstairs caught you both unaware. You nearly forgotten the world outside your room. From the guilty look on his face, Cove had done the same.
Shogun
Just had a
Miller
call.
and President Shogun Justin and President Miller had those been assassinated at Outback Steakhouse. They declared the war.
There's been assassinated tip on the I'm going back to war!
Lizzie, you're in charge.
Lizzie, you're coming too! Oh my god, what?
What?
Just had a call. Cove's mom is ready to go. If you're quick, she might keep the mandated mothering to a minimum. You doubted that. But it was nice that Mom and Miss Priest had their strange sense of humor in common. Your eyes met Cove's. Wordlessly, you headed downstairs together. Each step on the way there was painfully slow, like he was trying to delay the inevitable. His whole body tensed leaving the house, and Cove froze altogether before you both could cross the street.
Oh.
Door's open. Dad must be taking her stuff out.
He swallowed hard.
She's really gonna leave.
Give him a
What are we
quick
gonna
pat.
Yeah.
It's okay, bud. Your motion was soft, and you weren't sure if he even noticed it first. It'll be okay. Cove's bottom lip quivered, and he turned away. He gave his back a couple more reassuring pats.
Thanks.
At that, some of the conflict wearing on his face eased a bit. Together you went across the street and inside his house, putting his parents in the living room surrounded by his mom's packed things.
Hey, kids. Good timing. I just called the taxi.
Hi.
And hi, Jack. So I get to see you today. It was fabulous getting to know you this summer. I finally got to put the face on the name I heard so many times.
She winked, and Cove pouted on cue over the teasing. Bye. I'm really happy I got to meet you too. Please don't go.
Get me on Facebook. Hopefully, it won't be too long before we see each other again.
Do you have an OnlyFans?
I do.
What?
Nodding, Kyra turned her attention back to her boys. She patted Cliff on the arm with a warm smile, and she enveloped Cove in a crushing hug.
Literally. Cove squared your break. Free from regret.
But his mom was unfazed and kept him locked in place. Heartbeats later, he gave in and hugged her back tight.
I'm so glad.
I'm so happy this trip was a success.
Cliff looked like he was bursting with pride. And then Cove stiffened. Kyra loosened her hold on him, enough to study his face, concerned. She spoke her next words in a whisper that had been meant just for her son.
What do you think?
Do you want to unshelve it?
Raising an eyebrow, Cliff watched them carefully. His smile began to falter.
What's wrong?
What's wrong?
Cliff sighed, his gaze flickering over to you a moment. Just as quick as back to his parents.
It's okay.
It's alright.
Really?
What the fuck is wrong with my son? I don't want to do it now. I can tell that later.
Guys, do I need to go? Is this how Lee felt?
Yeah, maybe actually.
Nervously, you watched the exchange, with the growing suspicion that Cove didn't want to have that conversation while you were there. Oh, is it Cove telling his dad that he's gay?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that makes sense.
I bet that's it. He wondered if you should offer to leave when Kyra gave Cove a pat on the head.
All right.
Oh, it's you.
You can call me if you want me to be part of the conversation, okay? I'll call. Thanks, Mom. Oh.
Cliff still looked baffled about what Kyra and Cove were referring to, but you watched as his shoulders slowly relaxed. You figured that he decided to wait for Cove to be ready to talk to him. And with Cliff's silence, things seemed to be settled for now. After that, it wasn't long before the taxi arrived, rolling up in front of the house. And in a clear view of the open door, Kyra stood up, smiling sadly.
Well,
Well, that's my ride.
How are you
Kobe's
going
like, yeah. And then Cove's dad's like, yay!
The matching reply got a chuckle out of Kyra. As you all filed out of the house, father and son went with Kyra's bags in hand. Once outside, you spotted your family waiting by the street, and to your surprise, Derek was also with them. What?
Alive?
He stood uncomfortably and was waved. As soon as you noticed him, he was in a wheelchair, full body cast.
What's up?
I think you were Derek.
Yeah.
Oh my god! You're alive!
I'm ready to go. That I can one more time.
Sorry.
You pick a busy time, sorry.
Derek couldn't even look at Cove. He nervously kept rolling a pebble with the bottom of his shoe, the one toe that can move.
sorry.
I wasn't even thinking of your mom. I'm sorry, no. Why are you not interrupting any day? You always woke up here. She's like, who the fuck is this kid? It would have been sad if I didn't get to say goodbye before leaving.
Derek came to hang out often. So it is inevitable about the two. I bet at some point this season.
I think so too.
It was apparent.
Do they have beef off screen? Like what? Like what? Like,
It was apparent Derek would have preferred to have gotten there at a more opportune moment. He never liked seeming impolite, but their reassuring words soothed his worries. The tension he was holding in his body lessened, and he looked like he was feeling much more like himself.
bye, Derek. It was fun getting to know you. Is there anything I can help?
Nah.
Nah, Wheels. Don't worry about it.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Which is about sad.
We should play that.
We do.
Tokyo Twilight Ghost on Earth. In that short amount of time, Cliff had gathered and packed the bags into the truck. Kyra took one last look at everyone inside.
Alright, I don't want to keep the driver waiting. It's time to head out.
The little crowd that had formed around started their chorus of farewells and well wishes traveling. But Kyra still made no move to get into the taxi. She placed her attention on Cove.
I'll call when I get to the airport and when I make it to Nevada. Also, you better call the moment you walk in the door at home, otherwise we'll be all night if you got into trouble on the way there.
Can do.
I can do that. And you could call tomorrow too, so I could tell you how school went. Of course, I was there all about it.
Lady, why don't you just stay here?
For fuck's sake.
Jesus Christ. Jack's like, will you call me to see how my school day went?
They call it and say, it was awful, Cove ignored me.
He ain't talking to me. Kyra put a hand on Cove's head and affectionately ruffled his hair one last time. She then let go, only to move on to squeezing his cheeks in her hands instead.
Mom,
Cove.
I love you so much, baby. That's me and my cat every day.
She was chuckling by the time she freed him and rounded things off with a small tap on the tip of his nose. Cove
me and
rubbed
my
at his
cat.
face with a grin. Finally, she walked to the car while waving and took her seat in the taxi. Cliff took an arm around Cove's shoulder and kept him close as it began to pull away. For a moment, Cove looked up at his dad and then wrapped an arm across his back.
Bye.
Bye, Mom. Bye, travel safe.
Kyra rolled down the window and stuck her head out of it. She waved again while blowing kisses at Cove and Cliff.
Just stay here. See you again.
Before she was out of sight, you decided to.
I guess it's your family calling out.
I don't get it. What does that mean?
Click it, what the fuck not? I think it's you and your whole family, like the whole jack off family.
Whole jack off, man. I wish just wave goodbye.
Yeah.
The mysterious one. I wish there was the option to do like the Breakfast Club thing.
Oh yeah.
Where you like put your hand up. Wave goodbye. As Hecty headed down the road, you stuck your hand into the air and sent her off.
She ignored you.
The cab turned down another road and completely disappeared from view. She didn't give me any kisses. Cove let go of his dad and took a few steps out into the empty street, still looking the direction his mom went. He smiled quietly, deep in thought. He got the impression Cove was feeling better than he was earlier. He was finally content with the way things were. You jumped up when your mom put a hand on your shoulder, pulling you away from your thoughts. She smiled when you looked at her. This was a great vacation, huh?
No.
I don't know. Summer isn't over until the second I fall asleep, Mom. Well, now, I don't really know about that.
About that.
Which one do you want to do?
You nod in agreement.
Okay. Yeah, it was a good one. Cove walked back over to the group, still genuinely happy. Derek grinned at him, welcoming, and everyone else there smiled at him, even Elizabeth.
Well,
Ma clapped her hands together, bringing everyone's attention back to the present.
It's almost lunchtime. I think I have put something special together.
Her eyes sparkled with a plan, and Mom smiled. I bet you could use some help with that.
That would be absolutely wonderful.
Derek glanced between the two, his eyebrows furrowed.
Stupid.
Your mom's exchange of phone expression. Mom shook her head.
How sweet.
That's very sweet, Derek. But it's alright.
It's not your job, technically. Your dad left you under Cliff's watch. You're meant to be taken care of by him, not doing chores for the neighbors.
Mom laughed a little over her own joke. You watched Derek look away discouraged.
It's okay.
I don't mind.
He was a little bashful.
I thought you said he was a little bastard.
He was a little bashful about it. He wondered if Mom's joke had just reminded him that he wasn't initially meant to be invited to lunch. It was getting a little awkward.
Honey, do you think my therapy's doing better? Am I making good jokes?
I don't know, sweetie. It's still a little awkward. Keep working at it, though. Mom grinned sympathetically. Her comment was meant to lighten the mood, not bring it back down. Mom tried again to get things moving forward.
Why don't you kids go have fun? You all can come back in about an hour. We'll make enough for everyone.
Mom nodded in agreement.
Sounds good.
Another stunning idea, Lenny!
That's they fucked that up. Why is Coach...
Thanks!
Thank you.
Oh, wait, no. No, I don't think they did.
Yes, I know that's the idea, Lainey. Oh yeah, maybe.
You can all come back in an hour.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And then Derek says thank you. Yeah, no, they didn't. It's just
Okay.
kind of weird.
Okay, yeah, you're right. But he's where you don't even see Cove in this ride.
I know.
How about I help you, ladies? Now that my wife's gone. That sounds like a plan. Then I don't want to cramp your style. I got something to work on, so I can be out of your hair this afternoon.
You should come out later too. No reason. You should be the odd man out.
He said, "No, I'm good."
Mom seemed amused. Cliff rubbed his neck nervously. He grinned. A wavering but pleased smile.
Thanks very much.
I appreciate the invite.
He looked over the assembled crowd with knowing glances.
I can help too. With as many people you're feeding, there's gonna be a lot of food.
Just call him Cliff.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Hmm.
Didn't you hear what we told Derek? It wouldn't be fair to make you cook when we're the ones inviting you in.
Mom raised an eyebrow when Cliff waved it off.
Come on.
I insist. Derek is in a wheelchair with all his bones broken. This would be a break for me. I'm quite the chef.
While Mom exchanged further glances, poor Mom shrugged.
An airtight argument. If you're sure,
If
we'll
you're
be
sure.
happy to have you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Chef Cliff.
Cliff's grin widened and seemed more hyped than you'd expect him to be about helping with lunch. Cove shook his head, a fond smile on his face.
Then all us grown-up people will be heading inside. I assume the rest of you kiddos are staying out. Maybe
I
not
mean,
all.
all of them.
Oh, dude, God damn it.
Okay.
I just see the M and then I go.
You're a good boss.
Ma tilted her head, a silent question for Elizabeth. Your sister thought for a
All
moment.
right.
I'll
Fuck.
start with the cards.
That's fantastic.
That's fantastic.
Both your mom
It's
smiled
so-
at her.
It's such a. It's like kind of like condescending here. I'll stay with my kids. That's fantastic.
Both your mom smiled at her while Derek and Cove didn't seem to appreciate her phrasing. But with the plan decided, all three parents waved and headed for your house. It was just you teenagers now. I look at you and the others, a curious expression on our face.
So what now?
You silently wonder if Elizabeth only
Your
stayed
house.
to avoid getting roped into work. Again, she just genuinely want to hang out. You couldn't tell with your sister. Cove spoke up after no one else did to answer Elizabeth's question.
When you go down to the shopping district, it's been a while, and I don't think there's a lot of things we can agree on.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
How was it acceptable?
If you guys really want to. What do you think?
Yeah, that one. Lizzie took the leadership role again. God damn it.
Hate when Lizzie gets back. You strolled across the road as a group, down to the beach and then to the left. It took less than 15 minutes to arrive, one of the conveniences of Sunset Bird. The four of you looked around at the familiar shops, trying to see if anything caught your attention this time. Derek was most enthusiastic. He checked out every stall with his eyes wide with wonder. Elizabeth and Cove were in good spirits as well. He ran over to a street magician who was currently doing card trick for the group and enchanted tourists. Derek clapped when the magician showed a middle-aged man his card. Derek turned back to the group with a curious gleam in his face.
So do you have to ask someone, or do you? Oh my God, the pain's insufferable. Someone kill me, please.
Who'd you even ask? It's a public strat. Hey, Miss Mara, can I pull a rabbit out of my hat, please? Flopsy is well behaved, I promise. Derek chuckled,
Fuck you,
his eyes
bitch.
searching up and down the scene.
Maybe?
The boss of shopping district. No one does anything. Our money is a real store without walls.
It's different if someone wants a real store, but here I'm pretty sure people just put in a little shelves whenever they want, whatever. Cove laughed and Derek began almost vibrating with excitement. Elizabeth rolled her eyes.
Cove had to let go of the wheelchair because it was hurting his hand because how bad it was vibrating. What do we do? We're get the crown pawned. He's not tearing the bandit. The idea is that.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
No way. Sorry, I wouldn't go out, Derek.
Why?
Whoa.
You don't even know what you'd be doing.
Oh my God, my legs.
With some amusement, the gang continued to peruse the stalls. Elizabeth found some earrings. The dangling, badly misshapen globe that everyone laughed at. Go picked out a blob. A blob is Iceland. What? But Derek thought that it had to be Greenland. A blob? Ryan, am I being stupid?
Blob. Cove picked out a blob as Iceland.
I don't know what the fuck I mean. You know, this is a world with what looks like 9 continents. I think you're both wrong.
Oh, that's too soon.
I kind of want to say it though.
Yeah. It looks like Cove grabs your fucking.
Oh my God, if mom hurt you, you'd be fucking dead. Heather giggled at your interjection. Beep! Suddenly, Cove froze. You stared at him, and he tried to see what caught his attention. Then you saw. And then you turned. A shadow cast over you. It was Mom.
Oh,
In the crowds, his bright hair stood out like neon green bowl of the kitchen sink. It was Jeremy. I knew this
Oh, real
was
fast.
gonna happen.
I'll put my phone in charge real fast. I'll be
All right, boss. All right, we're back. We just
Yes.
spotted Jeremy. Jeremy slowly drifted his eyes down the street, and his eyes widened at the mutual recognition. He definitely noticed you. Time to go beat some ass. Derek frowned and Cove sighed. Neither of them were happy to see him again.
Can I charge you? Charge Jeremy again.
I'm gonna glare at
Wave
this
at
kid.
Yeah. Damn, yeah.
He's our arch nemesis. You narrowed your eyes and projected your dislike. Liz raised an eyebrow. Her gaze swept over Jeremy without a hint of a clue. Jeremy simply scoffed to himself and waded deeper into the crowd of people. Derek relaxed and exhaled loudly.
Even though he's like full of bandages, he speaks English for the first time. I'm glad he's not going to start anything.
He peeked over at Elizabeth with a tiny smirk.
Shit.
What?
That was me again.
What? What?
Huh? She still didn't get it. The first summer day hadn't made nearly as much of an impression on her as it did for Derek, but he smiled and waved it off.
Okay,
You good, boss?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I already said.
Oh, did you?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you good.
I already have. He laughed
No.
and Cove smiled lightly. He seemed in a much better mood now that Jeremy was gone. Your eyes wandered over where Jeremy disappeared. You hadn't forgotten the day you'd met him either. He was only
Are
going
these
to
kids
be
like-
in... What's up?
That kid's like 50 pounds. Why are they so like intimidated by it? Why, like, what's like the beef with it? Like, we're like, Derek
I
could
like to
probably
think-
fight him 1-on-1 and probably win. And Derek's like 4 feet tall.
I like to think they're just stressed out that Jack is just going to try to beat the shit out of him again.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Because Jack tried it once already.
that's true.
He was only going to be in town for vacation with the parents he hated. That glimpse was probably the last time you would ever see him.
We probably kept it to ourselves.
Yeah. Elizabeth snapped her fingers in front of your face. Apparently you had spaced out. Cove and Derek were already at the next stall. Come on, unless you want to get left hair. You nodded and caught up with the others. Cove raised an eyebrow.
What were you thinking about?
Nothing. Gave you a searching look, but let it drop when Derek yelled at you to go check something out. You couldn't help but wonder through what would have happened if you would have interacted with Jeremy more. You were glad that you wouldn't find out. Jeremy was unlike anyone you'd ever met before.
Thought he was kind of pitiful. I liked him.
It was pretty cool. And the group moved from the stall. And the group moved on from the stall and from Jeremy. It didn't take long for everyone to return to the joking. You all enjoyed what little time you had left, as Elizabeth mentioned. The hour was almost up. The little trip had flown by, and lunch must have been waiting for you now. Derek bounced on the balls of his feet.
There we go, eating, remember? If we have to.
If we have to. Cove stretched one of his arms lazily.
Let's go then.
He looked at him appraisingly. Oh, carry me.
Hey.
Cove,
Yeah.
will you carry me back home?
What?
What?
Cove smiled, said he was amused. Well, tilted his eyebrow. I was full of disbelief.
Derek's over here like, wait, who's gonna push me then?
You explained it. You wanted a piggyback ride. I want a piggyback ride. But you're the only one big enough to give me one. Cove sighed and shook his head. Elizabeth and Derek came to a chorus of laughter. Come on, Cove. It'll be fun.
Alright.
Cove stepped over to you. He looked like he couldn't believe what he was doing. Your lips quirked into a large smile. Oh yeah, thanks. He carefully crouched down in front of you so that you could climb on. It wasn't hard to hop on. He slipped his arms under your legs and... Be careful, Cove. Don't touch my ankles.
His ankles tangled around him.
To lift you. It was wobbly, but he managed to stand all the way up. Liz watched with a smirk on her face while Derek laughed even harder. It was fair to say that your antics were entertaining. You're glad Cove went with it. Cove carried you home. Contentedly. Other than a few good-natured jokes at your expense. He didn't complain. He made it all the way back to your house without putting you down. It was a pleasant walk home, and in no time, you had made it back. Derek got the front door and held it open for everyone as you each moseyed inside. This is long as fuck. The three parents were still in the kitchen. They looked up and waved.
Welcome back, everyone. Made it just in time.
Hey.
I hope you're hungry.
When Cove brought you inside, the parents couldn't help but notice the odd conveyance. Your moms were unsure, and Mr. Holden raised an eyebrow.
Everything okay?
Did you pull something, Jack?
No, I'm good.
Oh, Cove, you're so strong.
Good kid.
Cove's dad has flames in his eyes. Cove, get him off your shoulders.
Cove rolled his eyes at the commentary and started walking to your couch. He bent down and you let yourself flop back on the couch. Thanks for the lift. Cove exhaled loudly and shook out his arms. He just seemed relieved that he made it.
So does everyone have a nice time out?
He gestured for people to take a seat at the table. Plates and silverware have already been placed out. You took your normal seat. Elizabeth sat across from you and Derek took the seat to your left. Cove sat on your right.
Yeah.
It
It was fun.
was that fun.
Yes, the bad guys went off without a hitch. Your joke got some chuckles around the table.
That's good in my book.
Casually, Mr. Holden sat in an empty seat across from Cove. He smiled at you and all the other kids. Mom sat down a platter full of water glasses on the table. She looked down at the gathering.
It's a good thing we have 8 chairs. I can't remember the last time we've had a group this big over a meal. Can you pass the drinks down to the other side? Make sure you all get one.
Yeah.
Those close to the cups obliged and started offering waters around. As everyone got set up, Ma chided Elizabeth to take her elbows off the table.
No.
Each in his slouch.
She pointed at Mr. Holden, who was leaning forward, with both arms on the table.
Oop.
Mr. Holden seemed unsure about all the sudden mention and carefully rearranged his posture to something suitable for a fancy dinner. He smiled sheepishly at Ma. Elizabeth rolled her eyes and Ma gave a level look at her.
Do that again, and I'll beat your fucking ass, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth groaned, long, suffering. Ma giggled, and Mr. Holden chuckled.
Not bad.
A lot of you could learn a thing or two from Derek. He has the best manners here.
Derek blushed. But it was true. His posture was upright and formal. He even held his fork gracefully. His table manners on top of all his attempts to age your parents made him the model of meal attendee behavior.
Aw.
Paul lives a farm. It's true though, you have been a lovely cat. I just know this. Derek. Wait, Derek has stayed over at Cove's house more than Jack has.
Derek smiled and sat a little taller in his chair.
Yeah.
Do you have anything good to say about other guys?
No.
Looked deliberately at Cove with a teasing remark. Or is there just nothing to say?
Well, Cove is my number one, but he does still clean his hands by wiping them off his pants.
Cove frowned at that and absent-mindedly brushed his hands on his pant legs. Your mom's laughed lightly.
There.
As a matter, you should know. That's not my voice. After all these years, Cove is hardly a guest anymore.
Cove smiled awkwardly.
Thanks.
He's a nuisance.
You joked that Derek was basically an adult. Huh?
Next time, Derek really is going to stay inside to cook. He's practically a mini adult.
If he's joining us grown-ups, then you're going to have to treat him like one.
Okay, so Mr. Suarez, how goes your taxes? Derek shook his head and chuckled.
I'm in great pain, Jack.
Everyone ate their meal together and continued to hang out. For the afternoon, after the food, you and the others played a couple of games and talked about plans for the upcoming year.
Fuck me.
Derek shook his head and chuckled. Everyone ate their meal together and continued to hang out for the afternoon. After the food, you and the others played a couple of games and talked about plans for the upcoming year. As time passed you quickly, and soon it was time to part ways. Mr. Holden talked to your moms in Cove, drifted over to you, knowing that as soon as his dad finished up, he would be leaving.
It'd be cool to stay, but we have stuff to do before everything closes today.
Okay.
Yeah, but could you move? I need the phone. Covers an eyebrow at Elizabeth impatiently. Gesturing behind him, Cove realized he was standing right in front of where the receiver was placed. He sidestepped out of the way and shook his head, clearly thinking Elizabeth was rushing to him. Your sister made a beeline for the phone and started dialing the number. Of what you figured was one of her friends, knowing Elizabeth. She was going to be there for a while. You copy Derek. Shoving closer to the door. Assuming Mr. Holden was wrapping up his conversation, so everyone started saying their various farewells.
Talk to you later.
Yes, see you.
Cup turned to you and smiled slightly.
Bye, Jack.
We're gonna ruffle his hair.
My noogie! Oh.
Ruffle Cove's hair while smiling, tousling it with affection. Cove laughed and then put his hand on your hair. He ruffled it back, and you could feel it start to stick in weird ways.
Noise.
He looked at his hair and it's chaos. I think it's a good look.
Yours too.
Seriously, dude. We'll have to hang out late. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna miss you during school.
He offered Code a high five, and you guys he completely ignored him.
His wheelchair tips over.
Cove and his dad left soon after that. Your parents started cleaning up the house, and Elizabeth was still chatting to her friends on the phone. It was just you and Derek left. He elected to stay outside in front of the house to wait for his dad to pick him up. You decided to keep your guest company, although he was originally Cove's visitor. A light summer breeze blew through your hair, and Derek shifted his weight from foot to foot.
Thanks for rain with me.
He kicked at the ground distractedly.
Well,
It's gonna be a while, so do you go for a walk?
Oh my fucking god. Sure, I don't know. The two of you walked down the street again, just wondering the destination plan. It was quiet stroll. Too quiet for Derek being the company. You turned to him when you noticed that he wasn't saying a word, and that was unusual. Derek always had something he could chat about. You weren't sure if you should ask him about it. So you ended up at the old park near the beach. You glanced over to Derek once more, still expecting to say something any second now. However, nothing came from him. In fact, now you noticed a frown creeping on his face. Derek smiled when he realized you were watching. At least his mouth was turned up. There wasn't anything that really felt happy in the expression. He turned away and the smile fell off his face. His eyes stared intently at the ground. He raised an eyebrow. Derek, what's going on?
What? I lost that. Homework practice. Let's go. My life fucking sucks. I'm going to a different school.
His face screwed up into his and his fist were close tightly together. This is really concerning for him.
Whatever you have to work.
Shit, some optimism in the conversation. We'll make time. You can talk over the phone, you have plans on the weekends, it'll be fine. They look up at the sky and it was orange and purple with a bit of the clouds scattered around. A plane flew high above the jet streaming a mile behind it. Then he turned to the ground again. Derek's face was tilted far enough down that it was hard to read his expression.
I want to talk about something if you don't mind. My God, what?
There was a pause and you waited to hear him finish this thought.
Sorry.
I was going, wait, do you like guys at all? Like, would you ever want to be with someone who was a boy? Sorry, that's a weird thing to ask. Oh, I guess we're gonna be truthful here. Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. Fuck. Okay.
Are you trying to say something, Derek?
Dan. Yeah.
What's your question?
So,
I was just is there any guy thing?
God damn it, Derek likes us. God fucking damn it.
You know what? I think he is a romance character.
Derek?
Yeah, because the DLC, like, it has, like, you can change his clothes and stuff.
Oh shit.
But I don't understand how, because you hardly ever fucking see him. Alright, like that.
Derek just said further. You thought about it. He's
Yeah, see, I like.
lonely.
I like you. Well, I like Cove. Or we say this log, I think they're cool.
The lot of
that
are
would be
cool.
nice.
oh.
Oh,
Derek shrugged his turn to mumble and wonder. God damn it, Derek. Derek pulled himself together, somewhat meekly. Looked to you all like trying to project confidence. His posture was too tight for you to believe. He was nervous.
Alright.
I think I'm right. You know, I can't play at all. That's my class. I break up plans at all. Alright, we're good friends, you know, they don't, they get together. Like, they get married and stuff. So I was thinking, if I could have plans, it might be cool if did something like that. Wait, what? Did he just ask us out? Yo, what? What is happening?
Ryan.
Yeah?
This is Jack right now. Check Discord.
That's all I'm supposed to know. Who is this kid? I thought you were dead. Okay. Just you know, then we'll never have to worry about the future or finding someone. We can say like a whole decade in the future, forever from now. Oh, so it's like in the future, bro. What? We have to graduate high school, probably college too. We have jobs and be really grown up. Jack is reaching for his mace in his back. I think we probably have to have our own places, our own pets, and student loans and cars.
Oh my god! Derek! It's Jeremy! Oh, we better go! They fouled on for a while. Oh, more. It was on the silence. Derek, your wire burst out all at once.
So yeah, what do you think?
Do you like me?
I don't let that work. I'm sorry, Derek.
You don't do that one?
Yeah, we're gonna be nice. We're gonna be nice. Derek, I'm sorry, King.
Sorry, bud.
Aww.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's okay. Okay, that's like we love us. What would do like an ugly crying Bane face? I feel so bad. It's just an idea. Thanks for hearing me out and answering my questions and
God.
stuff. No problem, King.
He felt a little worried that Derek wasn't happy. When he saw your face, he smiled
It's
encouragingly.
okay.
I promise I'm not mad. I'm just wondering. I'm sure this will be in the future, no matter what.
You just
You
nodded.
just nodded. Yeah, there you go.
You went home.
Derek, dad calls. Hey, it was 5 hours away, so you guys go for a jog.
After Derek went back up, you decided to settle in for that. Searching for your arms. Over your head, you noticed in the living room of the phone was free.
Oh my god, it took it easy. Fuck. Do you want to save it here or can pick up later? Jesus fucking Christ. Thanks for watching the video.
It's a 2-hour long video.
Holy fuck.
Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.